Hello and welcome to the Wayward Skein. This is episode 13. Wow. I'm a little shocked that it's been this long. That means I've been podcasting for just a little over 3 months. Today is September 8th, Saturday, September 8th, and I am Lynn, your host, also known as Toll Baby pretty much everywhere on the internet. So I do have a Ravelry group, so hop on over there and join if you haven't already. Hit the little subscribe button down there, that side, sorry, if you haven't done that already. And because we have lots of fun giveaways for people who are members and subscribed. And so speaking of giveaways, I heard back from one of the winners from last week's giveaway. I have not yet heard back from the other winner, so I'll give you a few more weeks, maybe till the end of September. The first person who contacted me, Joan, you never told me what pattern you wanted. So hop on back over to Ravelry, check out Brandy's store, and let me know which one of her patterns you like, because I can't gift it to you if you don't tell me. So as mentioned, what I was giving away was what Brandy was giving away. My friend Brandy Miller is a pattern designer, and she was giving away 2 copies of her patterns to my winners, one on Ravelry, one on YouTube. So go check out her store. She's actually got a couple of new patterns coming out soon, and I'm actually testing one right now. So since I don't have any finished objects, I will show you what I've cast on. And it's barely just cast on. Don't lose the needles. Sorry, I'm knitting from a cake, which I almost never do, and it's hard to get stuff out. This is the cake of yarn. It's gorgeous stuff. This is Fleece Artist Trail Sock yarn, and it was hand dyed by my friend Crystal, who is Chris Knits on Ravelry, maybe? Sorry. She used to be Chris Rock 1, but I think now she's Chris Knits. So she dyed this, and she was destashing a bunch of stuff last year. So I snagged this, and it's super pretty, and I'm very much enjoying knitting with it. I have literally just cast on. So this is for one of Brandy's new patterns, which I think she's hoping to have out at around Halloween. This is for the Celestial socks, and I'm doing something a little bit different. I normally knit my socks on 2.5 millimeter needles, which is a US 1. These are 2.25 needles. These are my carbons. I have a set of the small DPNs. So I'm trying a different needle size, and I cast on more stitches as a result. Brandy wrote the pattern for 64, 72, or 80 stitches, so I cast on 80, because I was concerned that with the smaller needle size it might not fit my leg. Plus I want to make them full size, so they have to be bigger at the top. Sorry, things are falling. I had my elbow on one of my needles. So I've just barely cast it on. There's not a lot here yet, but next week you will see something a little more exciting. Plus, Brandy tends to do her ribbing a little bit differently. I don't know if you can tell there. It's 2x2 rib, but it's twisted. So the knit stitches are all twisted. It's knit through the back loop. So Brandy likes to do that on her patterns, and I figured I would give it a go. Normally, I do my own cuff, heel, and toe on patterns, but I'm trying to follow patterns as written these days. I'm giving it a go. We'll see how it goes. So, that's the only thing that's new this week, but I've made a lot of progress on some other stuff, so we'll jump into that in a second. I am drinking a brand new to me tea today. This is apple custard from David's Tea. Of course it's from David's Tea. It's me. So, woo, that's blown out. Let's see if it'll focus. There we go. It did focus for a second. So it's got apples, raisins, coriander, which is a weird thing, but you don't taste it at all. Calendula petals, vanilla, which you really taste. This is a very mild, very mellow tea. I'm adoring it. It tastes like apples and cinnamon. You get a little bit of the raisin in it. I can smell the cardamom. I can't really taste it. But I imagine it would taste quite different without it. So I'm very, very much enjoying this. And the reason that I am drinking a sweet apple tea is because tomorrow is Erev Rosh Hashanah. So Shana Tova to all my Jewish friends. and I hope that you have a very sweet and prosperous new year. Sadly, I won't be going to Erev Rosh Hashanah at the temple. I went today for services, but I have dinner at my mom's on Sunday nights, so this will not be the first year I get to go to Rosh Hashanah. Next year, we'll see. I'm also not going on Monday morning because I'm at work. Sadly, we don't get the Jewish holidays off of work. And I'm running out of vacation time, so if I want to be able to take time off when Rob comes in December, I gotta save a little bit of it. Plus, our leave rolls over in April, not in December, so it rolls over the 1st of April, so I have to save some for after Christmas. So, yeah, that's why I'm drinking my sweet apple tea, and I hope that everybody who celebrates has a fantastic Rosh Hashanah. Now let's try to slow down a little bit, because I realize I'm going a mile a minute. So I have a few other things that I've made some progress on this week. I'll start with this one, because I had already put it on a sock blocker, and it looks so pretty. So this is, this is half a sock is what this is. This is my peppermint mocha socks. Well, my peppermint mocha socks. They're not for me. There we go, it focused. These I'm making for my friend Sylvie. These are her birthday present. Her birthday was August 24th. And the last time you saw this sock, it was about here. So I did manage to finish the patterning on the leg. I did the heel as written in the pattern. Last week I was debating whether or not I would do a heel flap and a gusset, but the pattern calls for a slip stitch heel, so that's what I did. And I'm actually kind of proud of how it turned out. Sorry. Focus. There we go. Look at how neat that is. How tidy. Sorry, I just hit my lamp. Look at how tidy those stitches are. I love it. I'm so proud of myself. So this is the Peppermint Mocha Socks by Cece Alman out of her Coffee with Cece book. It's a group of 7 patterns, mostly socks, but I think there's a shawl and a hat. They're all based on coffee drinks. That's the Peppermint Mocha. And it's a great little book. I have an e-copy of it, and I really love this pattern. It's so easy, it's so quick, and look at how pretty it's turning out. I love it. So I'm really hoping that these fit Sylvie. They should. I didn't make them too long because she was concerned that her calf might get cut off a bit, but they are nice and stretchy at the top, like super stretchy. I'll try this one on when I'm finished, because her feet are just a teensy bit longer than mine. Otherwise, we're pretty much the same size, ankle, lower, leg-wise. My calves are a little bit bigger than hers, but the rest of our lower leg is about the same size. And I think she's half a shoe size bigger than me. So I'm really liking the way the heel turned out. It's super pretty. I don't know how it's going to fit. I don't think I've ever worn a short row heel. I don't know if I... What on earth was that noise? Huh? What was that? She kind of squeaked at me. Did you gorge yourself on cat treats? Yeah. She got hold of a package of cat treats and, ripped its guts out. There wasn't too much left in the package, so I let her keep it, but... Yeah, she tore that thing a new one and ate them all. So she's a little... Hi. Did you want to come say hi? Is that... Yes, apparently you do, because her head's right here. All right, well, come here. Come here. You Macy? Macy? Nope. She's being stubborn. No cat for you guys today, sorry. So yeah, that's the yarn that I'm making this out of is Tilted Planets Apollo Sock. So soft. Really, I would have sworn this was cashmere. Or that it had cashmere in it. It does not. This is straight old merino and nylon. It is amazingly soft. So squishy. And I'm doing this on 2.5 millimeter needles, which is a US 1.5, which is my standard sock size. Are you back? Really? Really? I'll see if I can pick her up. She's looking kind of pathetic right now. Come here. Yes, come here. There you go. Fluff butt. My son cut all the mats off her back. So she's kind of bald back here. And she's looking kind of pathetic. You don't want to say hello to your adoring public? No? Okay. Did you want to get down? This is not going to make for a very exciting podcast if I have to hold you the whole time. She's got a death grip on my shoulder. So, okay, are we getting down now? Yes, we are. All right. Oh, I wanted to mention when I was doing the tea segment, I am using a mug that the lovely Selma of the Little Big Knits podcast got me at some point last year. Sorry, that was a straight ball of fluff. So check out this cool mug. It is a photograph of I don't know what you would call that. It's a piece that has like felt and stuff and embroidery and beads but it's a photograph of it on the mug, and I thought it was super cool. Selma gave that to me a year or two ago, and I very much like it. I try to keep it hidden because my daughter breaks things, but so far this has escaped her, and I very much like my mug. Thank you, Selma. So what else am I working on? And I'm going to try to stop going, I don't know why I do that when I'm podcast. I don't talk that way. It drives me crazy when I catch myself doing it because I don't do that. I think it's just I don't know. It's a weird mannerism that I only acquire when I'm podcasting, and then even then only sometimes. I don't know why I do it. It's weird. I'm going to try to stop doing it. So I'm going to move the sock aside, which is difficult because my desk is covered in stuff. I got quite a bit of progress done on this week. It was nice and cold in Chicago, so I got a good start. But then I was here last time you guys saw it, last Saturday. Did I forget to weave in ends? No, apparently I didn't. I'm good. So I had already done this when you guys saw it last Saturday, from here to where the marker is. And then I did all of this this week. A significant portion of this was plain and airport knitting, but I actually have been getting quite a bit done on the bus. I no longer had bus knitting because the sock requires a chart. The other sock, I only got the pattern last night. So I was actually working off this complicated chart, and thank goodness you can't really see it. It's a 64-row chart, and I was doing that on the bus. I was on the bus home from the airport, and this English lady was like, well, aren't you clever? Look at you following the diagram on the bus. So she was rather impressed with it all. So I'm one pattern repeat away from being able to join it. I probably could join it already. Sorry, that's the back. I'm going to try and show you the front here. It needs a good blocking, obviously. So there are 7 sections of this sort of wedge shape thing, this sort of football shape. I'm on I've just finished section 6. I need to start section 7. I would stop, but honestly, I want to reuse up the rest of this. I don't want any leftovers. I'm going to use it till it's gone. So I think I'm actually on row, I don't remember. Let's take a peek, because I do use a row counter on my phone. Oh, okay, I'm on row 1. I just finished row 1. So I have the whole pattern repeat left to do, which is 64 rows, but they're only 39 stitches across. So it's going really quick. I should be able to finish it tonight. When it will get blocked is anybody's guess. But that is and I actually have a picture on this pattern. That is the Winter Long by Bristol Ivy. I just love the stitch definition on this yarn. It's super, super nice. Oh, these were my winter notes for last week. I'm so easily distracted, so easily. Like, zoom, gone, brain stops functioning. So it's the Winter Long by Bristol Ivy. It is done out of Philtis King Velour, which is a discontinued yarn. Of course, it's in my stash. It is colorway 1317. They don't have names. It's a yarn from Italy, I believe. Italy, Turkey, something like that. It is done on 5mm needles, which is US 8. And they are my carbons. As you can tell, I really like my carbons. So it's my carbons circulars. This is a fixed circular. I don't have a set of them or anything like that. Rob actually bought me that to knit a baby surprise jacket when I was in Chicago. Was it for the baby surprise jacket? I don't remember what it was for. But anyway, he bought it for me. So, yeah, I made quite a bit of progress on that, and I'm quite happy. And even though I'm supposed to be casting on new stuff, because none of my works in progress count for the pigskin party, and the pigskin party started on Thursday, so if you joined, awesome, you're going to have a great time. If you haven't, sorry, it's too late. I think it might not be too late. I don't know. You'd have to go check the rules on Jen's group. So the pigskin party is from the Downseller Studio podcast. It's Boston Jen who runs it. And it goes from the 6th of September to, I think, the 4th of February, right up until the Super Bowl. Anyway, so it spans football season. So I haven't cast on, the only thing new that I've cast on is the socks, which is a little counterproductive. But then I went and took a work in progress and archived like really, really old work in progress out of hibernation. So this little thing is a baby sweater. Duh. It is the Autumn Leaves cardigan from Nikki Vandekar. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So there are these little leaves that come down the back. Well, all around the top. It's the yoke, basically. And they are made of lace, and they are so cute. And so now I'm into the body of the sweater, and I just picked this back up today. I had started it in the fall for a coworker, and then I suddenly was no longer able to knit. So I never finished it, and the coworker's daughter is now too big for the sweater. But that's okay, because more babies will come along. Babies always come along. I've been meaning to start building up a stockpile of sweaters and blankets and things like that for babies, because there are so many of them, and it's always nice to have a gift ready-made so that I don't have to stress about finishing it before the baby arrives. And so I have picked this back up again. I only have about 3 inches left before the body's done, and then I can do the sleeves. It shouldn't take very long. You may actually see this finished next weekend. We'll see what happens this week. So this is, again, I wrote it down, Autumn Leaves by Nikki Vandekar. The yarn is Stylecraft Life DK. I always write L-I-T-E and it's L-I-F-E on the label, but it's hard to read. So this is gorgeous stuff. Sorry. Focus. There we go. So it's sort of a tweedy, heathery sort of, not tweedy, but heathery sort of color. It's got little flecks of gray and beigey in it, along with the dark green. The colorway is Gorse Mixtures, and it's knit on 4mm needles, which is a US 6, and I've been looking everywhere for these, and they were in this project. So hopefully once I finish with the sweater, I can have them back. I'm hoping to get this done fairly quickly just to get it off the needles, and I do have another pattern that I want to cast on. It's because the September interception, we have monthly missions, if you will, in the pigskin party. So the September interception is to knit something with slip stitches. I happen to have an e-copy of The Art of Slip Stitch Knitting, which is an interweave book by F&W Media. I can hear my cat snoring. Not the fluffy one, the other one. She's sitting on a chair over there snoring away. Which is funny because it sounds like one of those little squeaky toys. Old cats are fun. So I have a copy of The Art of Slip Stitch Knitting, And I do want to knit one of the hats in that book. It's called the Siska hat. I'm probably not pronouncing that anywhere near close to correctly. It's S-I-S-K-A, but the S's have little accents on them. I don't know how to pronounce it. But it's a really, really pretty hat. Look it up. And you will probably see that as a cast on next week. Mainly because I haven't located the yarn that I'm supposed to make it out of. I maybe have too much yarn in my stash. But I will locate that within the next few days and cast it on once I finish something else. I have to finish either the sweater, one of the socks, or the winter long. So I do want to finish something at some point. But then I go and pick things up that I haven't finished in a really long time, and yeah. So I'm really looking forward to having a photo at some point this week. This tea is so good. I'm so glad I bought it. It was one of those impulse purchases. I was like, I'm not really big on the dessert teas, the ones that are supposed to taste like desserts, but this one's quite nice. So moving right along, I finished watching Agent Carter. I'm a little sad because I was really enjoying it, and I love the guy who was playing Jarvis. I love his wife too. She was awesome. The lady who was playing his wife. She was a lot of fun. Chad Michael Murray has convinced me that I made the right decision after, what the heck was that movie called? Cinderella Story, I think. It was with Hilary Duff. It was a little fluffy movie. But I didn't quite like him very much after watching that movie. And now after having seen him in Agent Carter, I still don't like him very much. I'm sure he's a perfectly lovely man, but I dislike him slightly based on the types of characters he plays. The sort of pretty boy cocky guys that not appealing to me. So I did enjoy our Agent Carter. I'm kind of sad it's over. I took a little break from my Marvel watching because I wanted to watch Anne with an E, which is a Netflix series based on the Anne of Green Gables books. I would just like to say very, very loosely based. Holy crap. I just watched the first season and it has almost nothing to do with the books. A few of the events were in the books, but the vast majority of them were not. I am very angry with this series. I think the casting was excellent. The little girl who plays Anne, well, the teenager who plays Anne, because she's a teenager, she's excellent. Matthew and Marilla were brilliantly cast. I even like the lady they have playing Rachel. I'm quite happy with the casting. They're not Kevin Sullivan's cast, but I'm okay with that. What I hate is all the super dark drama that they've inserted into the story. There was never anything about Anne being beaten or being exposed to people's sex lives or her her being sent back to Nova Scotia, or I'm sorry if I'm spoiling things, but I'm so angry about how drastically they changed the story to sort of sex it up a bit. It's not okay. I'm really not okay with it, and I've been enjoying watching it, but as somebody who's read the books probably 30 times, all 8 of them, because there are 8, I've read all 8 books many, many times. I watched the Kevin Sullivan series many times. I got very angry with the Kevin Sullivan later years series that came out about 15 years after the original, about what Anne and Gilbert got up to during the war. I got angry about that too, because that had nothing to do with the books whatsoever. Nothing. None of that was in the books. And I think it would have been better left unmade. That's my opinion. That, about $6 will buy you a cup of coffee at Starbucks. So I'm upset with it. I need to digest because I just finished watching the last episode before I started recording. And I'm not happy. I'm angry about it. I'm actually angry about a TV show because it wasn't faithful enough to the... It's not just that it wasn't faithful to the books. It's that it wasn't faithful to the spirit of the books. You read those 8 books and you come away with a kind of sort of happy, warm feeling, not bleak and despairing and, oh my God, everything goes wrong in this poor girl's life. And, ugh. I feel really upset about the fact that they changed the whole feeling of the story, not just specific events. So I'm having trouble with that, but I'll get over it, I'm sure. And I'm sure the people who made it don't give a crap what I think. So that's what I've been watching this week. Rob and I saw The Hitman's Bodyguard last week. Hilarious. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And for anybody who could not see the plot twist at the end of the movie, really? Rob got really angry with me at the end of the movie because I was like, well, yeah, who didn't see that coming? And he was like, what? You're going to try and tell me you saw that coming? I'm like, yeah, as soon as I figured out that these guys knew each other before, I figured out the plot twist. It wasn't much of a twist. And he's like, you did not. He gets upset with me when I figure out plot twists at the beginning of the movie. Like what was that, Sandra Bullock, Keanu Reeves one, The Lake House, I think? Figured that out in the first 30 seconds of the movie. And I mean, I told him, I was like, you're going to see that's him. And when we got to the end, sure enough, it was him. And he was like, you've seen this before. I had not. Sometimes they're just so obvious, they scream at you. Rob is a very literal-minded person. If you don't tell him that's what's going on, that's not what he's going to think is going on. So he doesn't do well with hints and things like that at the beginning of the movie. I will say, Sixth Sense, I had no idea. No clue. My ex-husband watched it with me. Well, we watched it. I think we were still married. We watched it together, and he was like, how did you not see that coming? And I'm like, but I did not. So it happens to me too. So I really, really enjoyed Hitman's Bodyguard. If you have not seen it yet, it is on Netflix. Go watch it. It's hilarious. So, so good. I'm finding that Ryan Reynolds is just kind of himself on screen in a lot of movies. And that's okay, because I really like who he is. He's really funny. And Samuel L. Jackson is absolutely hilarious in this movie. He does have quite a capacity for comedy, and it always thrills me when he gets to express it. And who knew he could sing? When the hell did that happen? I mean, of course he can sing. He's Samuel L. Jackson, but damn it! He can really sing. So, yeah, I'll get off that subject because I'm just babbling about nothing now. So this week, podcasts I watched included The Knit Girls, The Uncreative Crafter posted a little mini. It's more of an explanation than an episode. Must Love Yarn posted a new one, and I've been watching Fiberific, which is my friend Chantel in Australia. I don't remember her Rav name. I'm really, really sorry. But it's the Fiberific podcast. It's fantastic. I really love it. She's a fiber and yarn dyer in Australia, and her daughter is hilarious. Some of the stuff her daughter gets up to is quite funny. So I really enjoy watching her podcast as well. And that's about all I've done. It's been a crazy week. I got my assignment done on time at school. That was fine. I didn't have to leave late. But it was a stressful week. A couple of things came at me last minute that needed to be done like now. And I hate that because then I feel like I'm the one who came unprepared, and I'm not. I'm the one that people come to get their fat out of the fire when they came unprepared. So, well, okay, they weren't unprepared. They just weren't. They were late. Let's just put it that way. So I get frustrated because then I feel like I have to rush, and I don't like being rushed because I don't feel like I do as good a job when I'm rushed. Anyway, it all got done, and I was very happy to get home last night and just veg and do nothing. And so that's what I did. After I dropped my daughter off at her father's, and I dropped my son off in the next town over at one of his friends' houses, and So I'm kid-free today. Yay! I mean, it's not as big a deal as when you have little kids and they're running around making noise, but, you know, every now and then it's nice to have a little break. I kind of feel bad for my ex because, well, he doesn't get one, but my son often comes over and sleeps here, so it all works out. And my daughter has missed spending time with her dad, so it was a good trade-off. Although I do feel bad that this happened like the week after I got back from Chicago, so she was at her dad's last weekend anyway. So it's not like she hasn't seen him in months. It was sort of silly, but anyway. So that's about all I've been up to, and I don't want to babble until this goes for 40 minutes, so I will say have a great week, and hopefully I will have some finished things to show you next week. And I really appreciate all the comments that you guys leave, and any suggestions you guys have, I'd be happy to hear them. I'm still working on picking reading back up and being able to talk to you guys about books I'm reading. Lately, I just haven't had the time or the energy for it, and quite frankly, I've been spending far too much time playing games on my phone when I go to bed instead of reading. So that's maybe something, a habit to change, because I've also been going to bed way too late at night and having difficulty dragging myself out in the morning. So I will say have a great week. This should be up late-ish Saturday night, and I hope everybody is having a great time knitting and enjoying the lovely fall weather we suddenly have. I love it! I'm very much looking forward to October. It's pumpkin season. Not pumpkin spice season. It is pumpkin season. I'm not a big fan of pumpkin spice. I do love pumpkin, however. So, happy Rosh Hashanah again, and see you next week when we are ramping up for Yom Kippur, which is a slightly less happy holiday, but bye! Watching lightning on the waterfront in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's been going for a good 10-15 minutes now. We're right next to a playground structure, so that's why you hear kids screaming.